Alright guys, so today I'm going to tell you about an experience that I had going through TSA. Yeah, so stay tuned to the intro. Alright guys, welcome back. So like I said in the beginning, I'm going to tell you about an experience I had with TSA, and they took one of my things. They took some of my stuff. So yeah, but if you like beard product reviews, gear reviews, EDC videos, then you have definitely come to the right channel. Today, we are going to talk about how they took something from me. So, long story short, my wife and I went on a trip, an international trip. We flew to Cozumel, Mexico. All right, so we flew from Atlanta to Houston, Texas, to Cozumel, Mexico, and then we flew back, same direction. Cozumel to Houston, Houston to Atlanta. And I've done 2 videos so far on this sling bag. Now, I literally just finished filming the one where I show you what all is in this bag that I took with me on that international trip. So let me pull a piece of gear back out. So what I'm going to pull out is the ARC company pocket organizer. All right, so this is what I had in that sling bag up top. I've got a Click ballpoint pen, I've got a Sharpie, and I also have a little mini pocket flashlight. So I also had 2 other items in this pouch. In the front, I had a disposable Bic lighter, and I had my Gerber shard. Now, I did a lot of research before flying. This was my very first international flight. So I didn't want to get pulled aside by TSA. I didn't want to get patted down and frisked or taken to jail. I didn't want any of that. So I did a lot of research. And everything that I read said that I could take a Bic disposable lighter as long as it was in my personal items or on me. I also watched a video from a fellow YouTuber who said I could take my Gerber shard. So that was what I took. If you've watched this channel for very long, you know I have a bunch of those little multi-tool type items. And I knew I couldn't take a pocket knife, except it was in my checked bag. That was taken care of. It was in a checked bag. So in here, I had a Bic lighter and my Gerber shard. We fly from Atlanta to Houston to Cozumel, Mexico. Zero problem. Then we go to leave. So we have to go back through the Cozumel airport. And as we go through, I decided, let me back up. I decided while we were in Mexico to leave the Bic lighter because I didn't want to run a risk of them stopping me with a Bic. I had bought a pack of 2. I've got lighters everywhere. And it wasn't really one that I wanted. It was one that I just bought for the trip just to have. So I left that in the room. And so I had these 3 items and my Gerber shard in here. So we go through, they run my stuff. Well, of course, when it gets to the bin with my sling bag, dude running an x-ray pulls the sling bag or the whole bin out. A girl comes up, she looks at my bag and she asks if she can go through it. And I said, yeah, you can go through it. You got nothing to hide. Yeah, go through it. So she starts opening up pockets and looking at the x-ray and opening up pockets, and she can't find what she's looking for. Something flagged on her radar. She didn't know what it was or where it was. She couldn't find it. So after a good 2 minutes of her like kind of searching, at that point she had pulled out my passport. She had pulled out my cash. She had pulled out all sorts of stuff, but she had not found what she was looking for. It went off. She's looking for that shard. So I open up the top zipper and I pull this out and I dump out my Gerber shard. I said, is this what you're looking for? She looks at it, she looks at the x-ray. And so she goes over to her counterpart who ran the x-ray and asked him questions. She then came back to me and said, what is this? So I tried to explain to her in my English and her Spanish what it was. She did not quite understand. She went back, she came back. She said, is it a tool? And I said, yes, it's a tool. It is a screwdriver, a pry bar, a bottle opener. It's a tool. She goes, you can't have this in Mexico. I'm on the way out. I'm not coming in. I'm on the way out. She says, you can't have this in Mexico. My wife goes, so do you have to keep it? And she says, yes. So my Gerber shard with camo wrapped paracord is in Cozumel, Mexico. So I say all this, don't trust everything you watch unless it's from me, because I've been there, done that. Don't take your Gerber shard to Mexico. It may work other places. Luckily for me, it's only about a I looked them up, about $11. So I'm probably gonna buy another one at some point. But yes, Gerber shard you cannot get through TSA, and I know what people are gonna come at me with. I know every TSA agent is different, and a lot of the decisions are up to the security. So run that risk if you want to. It was one of the ones that lately I haven't used a whole lot. So I was like, yeah, if they take it, they take it. Still hurts my heart. So there's that. Just be prepared if you take anything like that they are going to confiscate it, or just put it in your check bag. So there's that. They took my Gerber shard. So if you are going to Cozumel, Mexico, they have a huge container glass display case, and it's starting to rain, so I got to talk fast. They have a huge display case that has all the stuff they have confiscated. If somebody's going to Cozumel, please look at it and see if my Gerber shard's in there safe. Just let me know. You know what it looks like. It's Gerber shard, black or camo wrapped paracord. I just like to know that she's safe and in there, not being messed with. Anyway, I digress. So that's what they took from me. TSA, I know they have a job to do, but when there's that language barrier and you can't explain what something is, that doesn't have a sharp edge, it's not a blade, they don't understand, they're going to err on the side of caution, and they're going to take it. So I say that if you're going to another country and if you don't know how to explain what something is, leave it at home or put it in your check bag. And yeah, I had a pocket knife in the check bag, went through no problems. It made it back home safe and sound, but my Gerber shard did not. So there's that. Yeah. So if you've had any experiences with something like that, please drop it in the comments and let me know what else I should not take the next time I go somewhere. Because now I have a passport and I'm ready to go. So I'm probably going somewhere else. And I need to know what not to take next time. But yeah, when you get done with this video, go watch my Gerber shard video just to give it a little bit extra life, since we don't have it anymore. So there you go. So until next time, stay bearded, get outdoors, and God bless.